Good day, good love, good way, and good light, illuminators and way showers. And thank you once again for joining me, Wendy, with the languages of lights. Deep breath. It's been a little while. I've been taking care of a lot of 3D things and really spending time going inward. Happy December, everyone. Happy birthday to all you Sagittarians out there, fellow Saggies. Thank you, all of you, for your amazing birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. It's amazing how, as we share this internet collective consciousness, we're able to share with each other all over the world. And I just want to send my gratitude and appreciation to all of you for your love, your kindness, your comments, your birthday wishes. It's been amazing. And my guides have, in this birthday time, and I think I go through this every birthday time because I believe that the solar return is our time, our first of our year, to be starting new. And so I find myself going inward a lot right around my birthday time. And we've also had a lot of things that I've had to take care of here 3D wise, and so it's been a great time of also taking that time of having to do to concentrate on these throat chakra again to concentrate on these 3D tasks, but that also allow us to take that time to go inward, and where we're unplugging literally from social media. And even if we're listening to something, we're taking the time to be present. So I was being present, truly being present with my guides and going outward. I don't like to say inward because I always like to think of it as going outward, as expanding my awareness, expanding my consciousness, illuminating that which needs illuminating. And it is it reminded me too to not only take the time to be present, but also to take the opportunity to document a little bit, even if it's just a word, a sentence, a paragraph, a feeling, what we're going through. I was thinking today about all the journals that I've written over the years and how my perspective has changed as far as what I put in those journals and how I express myself, and actually how I find myself expressing myself less on paper in some respects, because I'm spending more time in the here and now, experiencing my life and creating my life, instead of being in the this is happening to me perspective. So I was also encouraged to remind everyone to document your progress, because sometimes we forget in this ascension, because it's just a crazy whirlwind of energy, in this wanting to being grounded and yet reaching our higher selves. And higher love is something I've been hearing a lot in my mind's eye. My heart center is seeking that higher love, but realizing that higher love really is all about self-love, and that no matter what, at the end of the day, the question is, the problem is, the solution is always, where are we lacking self-love? In what area of our life? Because anything that's unresolved or that's causing resistance in our lives is caused because we are not addressing our authentic selves. We're not addressing our heart. We're not addressing our true nature. We're not speaking our heart. And then we feel not only ungrounded, but we feel like we can't soar. We don't have freedom of expression. We can't move higher. We can't ascend. We're in this kind of paralysis place. Yet we're reminded, and especially for those of us in the northern hemisphere, as the winter solstice is approaching, that it's a time to go in and reflect and hibernate like the bear. It's getting a little chilly today, even here in Tennessee. We've had a cold flux come down, and so it's a little chilly. So it's, it brings us indoors and wanting to connect with ourselves. And there's so many things that I wanted to share, that I wanted to try to articulate and hone in on some of the energies that they really wanted to touch on. And the Emissaries of the Light Collective, that I have the gratitude and opportunity to share my days with, being that they represent a multitude of perspectives of races, civilizations, star systems, etheric and non-etheric beings. They offer me a wide variety, a diamond aspect, a crystalline aspect of you, ability to see multiple perspectives and to receive different waves of information in different ways, whether it's through light languages, spoken light languages, whether it's through telepathic messages, whether it's through conversations with other beings, whether it's through star languages. So each of these offers us an opportunity, when we unplug, to document our lives maybe in different ways than we normally would, whether it's through more creative expressions, maybe drawing or painting or speaking or singing or dancing, or doing things in a way we've never done before. And Sagittarius is it's the sign of freedom. You cannot ever ask a Sagittarian, and not only am I one, but I married one as well. And you can't keep a Sagittarian from wanting more, and adventure and expansion and desire to learn and freedom of expression, and the philosophers and the teachers. And so this energy, when the sun is in a particular sign, all of us are experiencing the effects of this energy. And then you've also got Saturn right now, which is getting ready to leave the sign of Sagittarius. And right now it's sitting over the galactic center where Sagittarius resides. So I've personally, and all of us collectively, been feeling this wanting freedom of expression, but Saturn wanting us to say, you know what, let's get down to brass tacks and figure out, how do we ground this etheric energy? How do we bring this into the heart center? And how do we live here with this newfound energy, this newfound expression, this newfound creative need, but in a way that's no longer about ego. It's about soft freedom. It's about allowing everyone their own freedom of expression while giving ourselves permission to do the same. And this one, I wanted to share with you. I've been getting a lot of information. I don't want to call it information. I've been getting, because it's not information that I can necessarily articulate, but the 33rd parallel. This drawing was given to me on the 3rd of December. And so in my mind, I'm seeing 12-3. So I'm seeing the 3-3 and then the 1 below it. And I'm hearing 33rd parallel. Now, if that even remotely resonates with any of you, I encourage you to look up research anything to do with the 33rd parallel, because there's layers and layers and layers of information and history and mystery behind the 33rd parallel. And ever since Bashar started also talking about the 33rd parallel, many, many, many years ago when I first started watching and watching his videos, something resonated with me with the 33rd parallel. So on this day, it was the 3rd of December. So I was feeling this 33rd energy and the one energy of this 2017 of being the 1 year. And interesting that today also equals 12. And the whole date equals 12 today. So I just realized that. And so that's synchronistic for this number 3 and the 33rd parallel and the triangle and the trilogy and the trinary of body, mind, and soul consciousness of coming together in that triangle. I got downloaded an amazing meditation, which I'm intending to put into a video that was downloaded to me about this idea of triangles and connecting to all of our fractals. So I wanted to show this to you because I was feeling the Sagittarian energy, the Saturn, and Saturn sitting in this galactic center and really bringing this galactic center energy from the center of our Milky Way, and Jupiter, this bigger than life, the largest planet of our solar system that rules Sagittarius, that is about expansion and awareness and knowledge and doing things in big ways and being willing to learn the hard lessons and to not have to do it again, to say I'm conquering this and I'm going to move on. And so I was just feeling this sun energy and this 33rd parallel energy and this idea of reflection, and that this is like such an exclusive energetic time for us. And I'm being asked now to deliver a brief message. Le kira sono te pila alura mashate iliana aliam korisa pala sono de kila hima kaye le sono te bilianda sapo ashnato se. And when we're taking this time to go inward, we're looking at our own reflection, and that brought back also the idea of looking at our own reflection in the mirror, looking at ourselves in the eye, and speaking kindly to ourselves. And it reminded me of the Bashar's 7-week 49-day challenge, about spending that 49 days every single day, taking just a few seconds to say self-affirming, self-love words to ourselves. And so I've been asked to once again reintroduce that as well. And so all of this is coming into culmination. With the solstice coming. I think I might have company. Hang on. Hi guys, thanks. I had to relocate. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, this idea of self-love, and that every single resistance that we have, it was a result, and I mean everything, every judgment, everything we say about ourselves, everything we say about another person, everything that's in our reflection is about the confirmation or the absence of self-love. And it doesn't matter what channeler, what entity, what star system, every energy, every entity, we're teaching the cosmos as the cosmos is teaching us how to unconditionally love, the way that we are loved from source, the way that we love our animal companions, the way that we love our children. And I can say that we can even love our furry companions more unconditionally sometimes than we can our own children, because we even impose our own we impose our own judgments even on our children based upon that which we have inherited. And we're letting go of all this. Sagittarius is about freedom. It's about equality. It's about everyone is equal in their reverence, and everyone is equal in their deservedness of abundance. Everyone is equally capable of and abundance means something different to everyone. Some people, the idea of having a lot of money or things or possessions or riches is about the most unfree thing they can think of. It can be, for some people, riddled with all this, with the responsibility that comes with that energy. And so for some person, somebody else living in a tiny cabin in the woods is a person's complete abundance because they're in touch with nature. And so that's definitely one of the things that we all hear about self-love is being in nature. And I want to touch just a moment about the colors. This time of year, and I'm not sure where this originated, but this time of year and the winter time here and the winter solstice in the United States with the holidays and people celebrating all of the religious holidays and festivities, red and green seems to be a color combination we've adopted from, I believe, the greenery outside and the red berries that are produced at this time when, even in the freezing time of winter, it reveals abundance to us. These are from evergreen trees that are timeless. They're evergreen, and even in the coldest of dead of winter, they can produce this food, this beautiful red berry. And so I'm seeing that parallel, if you will, but with the red and green. And I've often been, over the years in my own awakening process, I have been, I'm going to set that there for just a second. And I was just looking too at, this is interesting how we're talking about the green trees and the spruces with the berries. And I just looked and saw this too. Now this was actually representative of the full moon at the time. So, but I was just looking at the similarity, if you will, to that idea of the leaf or the feather, if you will, and the berry. So I was getting the symbolism, if you will, of abundance in this time of winter, and then this red and green idea. So today I'm feeling, as my guides were with me in meditation, and I was guided to wear red and green today, and not necessarily because of the holiday. It was just because this is a warm shirt, and I started thinking about this idea of the colors and how red symbolizes the root chakra and the place where our security, where we feel our foundation is, which would mean abundance and those red berries in the dead of winter, and how the red and then the root chakra and this grounding energy of the red, and feeling that satiation, if you will, that being satisfied and warm and comforted in the cold. And then the idea of the green, of this kind of green and blue energy of the heart, the heart center, the heart chakra, this beaming green energy of life and of this evergreen tree in the dead of winter against the stark white or the stark gray of the trees. And this feeling of abundance, and how we decorate a tree with baubles that we collect and that represent heritage and abundance and ancestry and expressions of our own creative selves, and what represents us. And I grew up with a Christmas tree, and so that was just something that we did in our home. And so And it's even interesting how I've been able to even very easily let that tradition go myself, in that I'm not going to put a tree up this year, and so I feel that in that respect, that permission slip, I don't need to feel the comfort of home. I don't need that for the remembrance of my ancestry or I can feel it. As soon as I close my eyes, I can recreate that frequency. And so this idea of coming together of the root and this heart energy, and then the blue chakra energy, the idea of the blue lights of the star, this blue star, and the star Sirius is so bright in the sky right now, and it flickers all these different colors, and this idea of the blue star and allowing in this Christ consciousness. And so as we approach this time of year where many of the religious aspects of this time of year are in celebration of what we understand as the Christ consciousness, the time of coming together, of being of donating our time and our food and our goods and our clothing, and being gift givers, and this outpouring of love and acceptance, and of bringing people home in home again, and how it's so galactically reflective of this one time of year. And yet we're being always reminded to take that frequency of that gathering, of that giving time, and bringing that home in our hearts every day. So I wanted to move on into once again this idea of creative expression and freedom, and the spirit of movement, of energy, and connecting this root chakra and heart chakra energy, and giving it this blue throat chakra to speak. It's not about speaking our truth, it's about living our truth. It's about acceptance and unconditional, that frequency of unconditional love, of that Christ consciousness, and bringing that into our everyday life, and allowing that to wash away all the beliefs that we have inherited that prevent us from this idea of bringing into our lives whatever abundance means to me, to you, to us, and to stop comparing what abundance means for you to someone else, and stop needing to justify it. It's if it resonates with you and it excites you, you're supposed to be doing it, and you're supposed to be growing from it and giving that back to the world, to help you ground this etheric, angelic, high frequency energy into what you're doing every day in the physical world. And I wish at the time I would have gotten a better pen for this, because as I started writing, I wanted to, the lighting's really bad in here, I wanted to do this in a darker pen, but I didn't. It was like I was told, just keep going. And I may have to take a photo of this, because it's going to be probably very hard to see in this lighting. But I was given this information, and as it was being downloaded, they were showing me and this was on the 3rd, on the super full moon in Gemini, and they were showing me like how the DNA downloads began, how it began from the first light, and what happened after that. And I could not possibly put it into words, a language that I could not articulate what I saw and what I was receiving while this information was being downloaded. It was extremely profound for me at the time. It was energetically expanding. It was emotional. It was it it drew some cosmic pictures for me in a way that brought like the spiritual and the physical together in that place of the triangle, that the true idea of what it means to be the body, mind, and spirit, and how we were created, and what has happened since then, as far as how our DNA and how we were empowered, how we're being empowered more and more every day by as we connect to our own inner higher self, our own higher consciousness, that we're able to turn these switches on, I guess, like like the lights out there, the festive lights that everybody, it's like we're literally turning them on. And we even have lights on our place out front here, and it's just one of those projector lights, and it was just all these stars and snowflakes and trees, and it really made me feel that energy of the energy is always moving. There's always guides around us. We're always constantly connecting with higher aspects of ourselves, and all of these fractals of who we are, and other beings that we are in other solar systems, other aspects of ourselves that are physical and non-physical, and receiving this energy continuously, and how these moments, these nows, these full moons, these sharings of these kind of light codes, and the light codes that are coming through, and how important that is for all of us. And then for a couple of days I was wearing purple like every day, this higher love. And so I kept hearing this higher love, that we are literally opening ourselves up, this idea of this our own spirits in flight, and in opening up ourselves to this higher love. And then so I was guided to purple for this one, and I was feeling inner earth beings, and the support that we have with these inner earth beings and the outer earth beings, and how we're literally opening up the earth. We're opening up the inhabitants of the frequency of every living thing on earth into this higher love frequency. Masotoshibi kiala ita sanikilaum sa ilamiano ala kuapautodeshe lahina giliento somo ishanat gilendo sa oroko sepihala. Sateshinadu kulamba ki awahala kato sepe la ina li ki kia noto de luhama li ikia sarasinati tikila sotoshabi awara hashanakeka soro semariana ela umaya satate la ina pua questionote ki kia toshanate kia wara sanose. And it just so happens that this Bashar self-love challenge that I did a while back. It so happens that today, Friday, happens to be freedom. That today's idea for Friday is just our arms outstretched, and we just rotate ourselves standing. And I'm thinking right now of a tree, and how it stands, and how it branches out in all directions, and all the way up into the sky, and all the way its roots down into the earth. And how Friday, this day, is about looking in the mirror, standing up, and spinning one revolution, and looking in the mirror and saying, I am awake. And then spinning again. And I usually went in the opposite direction, and saying, and looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I am powerful. And think of the tree and how powerful it is. And synchronistically, and lastly, once again, standing in front of the mirror and circling around with your arms outstretched all the way wide in a circle. I am free. And that's what this is all about. That's what Sagittarians are all about. They're centaurs. We're half horse, half man. We're already hybrids, right? We're soaring into the cosmos, yet our feet can be also on the ground. This red and green energy, this connecting of the energy. Asotoshimiya alakotea sanotibo kosnatekia. Sorosomoshonati walia sotosebi ia tashnaikia. La soshe amianonia alaketasianake la sotosebikia. So oshnase elaki laisniara. So I realized that this has actually gone long over than I thought it would. I guess I was feeling much more to share than I anticipated. So I'm just going to take this right into as the second part of this message, and I'm going to take a brief moment to take a drink of water and breathe. And there was an oracle reading that I wanted to do as well, so I will move that into a part 2. So I was reminded of this bookmark that I think I've showed this before in other videos. The Spirit of Flight, this beautiful image by Josephine Wall, the wonderful artist. And the Spirit of Flight is what we're all looking for right now. It's the symbol of Sagittarius, the symbol of the horse, of flying, the wild horse, and then the centaur carrying the arrows to shoot out into the world, to shoot out into the multiverse. Of this is the idea of, this is the time, you guys. Take this time now, this Sagittarian energy, and shoot out those arrows of intention, of what it is visually, arrows of visualizations of what it is that you want to take advantage of this energy to create. And do not allow in the how, the what, the why, the when, the expectations. Let all of that go, because those are the obstacles that everything is already there for you. Everything is there. It's already done. Once you imagine it, it is complete. It's a matter of removing the resistance and allowing it to simply be plucked from your own manifestation.